But there's a little bit of drama leading into this season because Manchester City, it's been reported that their trial for those 115 charges in the financial fair play issues and those breaches that will be litigated in September, and we're supposed to get an answer of what that is, what's going to happen, what the potential penalty is going to be by early 2025. So,
man, you said the word litigated, my energy just went through the
roof. but honestly, the weirdest part is like I'm going to be more kind of anxious about the Premier League season because of that, because I think that is going sort of to determine who the champion is or where Manchester City end up, because we hear they have a whole big team of lawyers and they're not going to face any penalty, and we also hear like they might get relegated to League 2 or whatever. So
they might have to play the Lincoln Red Imps every week for the rest of the season.
Pep is watching the Lincoln Red Imps right now. I'm like, I might have to prepare for them. No, this is it's like a little nervy. I don't know. Because I don't know. Based on social media and how people, and also as an Everton fan who has already been slapped on the wrist twice.
I was going to say, how does it feel to watch this go down somewhere else?
Yeah, there's a little bit of like, take them all down. All right? As long they should be beneath Everton. You know, they're all criminals. Nottingham, everybody, they're all after Everton. You know what I mean? But this is it's generally something where Manchester City, whether you think that they've done anything or not or whatever, they're a massive club. They're incredibly popular. We even seen like even from I pay attention to some of these social media analytics, but Manchester City is like one of the most searched clubs. They have some of the most views and engagement on like their content. Like they've done the work to grow the brand of that club. And if they do face severe penalties, like getting taken out of the Premier League, for example, this is like. So it's such a huge deal, but then from an economic standpoint of what Manchester City even mean to the Premier League, like there is a little bit of like, well, we want to punish them, but not that hard. Like, I mean, they really.
I think we're gonna see when that punishment comes out that it's not in line with some of the other ones that you thought it would be, and be like, this is the most we could do, and you're like, oh yeah, for sure. No, I think that's totally makes sense. Now, I would say, from my experience watching fan bases from the outside, this actually galvanizes fans where they're like, oh, you all thought? Like, no, I'm a bigger fan now. And like, this is our culture. And it's like, well, okay, it's financial fair play stuff. Like, come on, you guys, no one's attacking you.
Yeah. It's like, it's a weird, like back when the Republicans were like Tea Party Republicans. And it was like, all right, y'all are into this now? Like, you're
like, everyone's coming for us. You're like, well, you guys are in the top 1%.
Balance your QuickBooks?
Right.
Like, being crazy.
And I think that's probably where a lot of this ends, because I don't think anyone who's a fan of this team is going to stop being a fan of this team. I don't think they're going to stop caring less. The other part of the thing with this is this team does not operate because of financial setup of, they need to make money to spend money. So this won't affect them either.
Right.
Whenever this is over, they'll just pick up where they left off. Where for other teams, and I'm sure Everton is going to feel some of this depending on how ownership changes, of like, for other teams, these things do hurt them. And they take steps back and they fall into lower divisions. But like
but I mean, when Everton dealt with that, I'm like, they took 10 points, right? Initially, and I mean, even if they took 2 points, I'm like, bro, no, why would you think that? We do know who we are. We can't.
We're not gonna win anything.
I don't know if we'll ever win again. You know? Right. So it's look, I think that's the. Given that we don't have a single entity, the Premier League is not a single entity, and there isn't any sort of protection when it comes to just knowing that your business will be safe and continuing to make money. Like that it's such a tremendous risk. I mean, and it's we all want like pro-rel in like MLS and all this other stuff, like. But these are the realities of it as well. I don't know if you saw in like WSL, the Women's Super League in England, is they're going to like I don't know if it's not a single entity, but they're they're doing like a sort of a more collective approach of like trying to support all the teams, where basically I think it's similar. I could be sort of wrong, but to me it sort of feels similar to the way Bundesliga is.
Where there's like restrictions so that everyone can work together.
It's Bundesliga 1 and Bundesliga 2, and then the rest are like, it's not exactly, we don't oversee the sort of the rest of it, like sort of kind of like the FA in England handles the complete pyramid. But this is WSL is looking at it like, all right, we all have to collectively make sure that we can sustain ourselves, and the Premier League specifically is not like that, right?
Well, some of the big, Reading, I think, they disbanded their professional team, which this was one of the biggest teams, because they were like, it's not sustainable financially.
Right,
and if we don't win every time, there's no way for us to make up the money, which is tough. Now, obviously, the Premier League is so far outside of that, with the TV money they're bringing in and all of these things, that like teams will fall apart, but other teams will step up and replace them, and rich foreign owners will come in and take them over. But there is a conversation that has to be had of like the golden goose thing. I think it comes up every time ticket sales come up, of like how expensive tickets are, where you're like, the sellable product is the atmosphere in the building. Why would you price out that fan because you're going to sell a TV deal to India, the US, and Japan at a higher level? But I don't make money. That's why I don't make money, because I'm not charging everyone as much as I possibly can.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go. Part of that falls into this, like, how much are you going to limit spending? Because, as you said with Man City being the biggest name they are, helps them get a bigger TV revenue number around the world, which gets more of a cut for Bournemouth and more of a cut for Ipswich, because they're cutting from a larger pie. But at the same time, if you win something, then you're huge. So, like, you don't want Man City to be unfairly doing this. But at the same time, the odds of you winning the league just because Man City aren't buying 13 center backs are pretty low. And so, like, how do you manage that? And I think this is all some of this interesting stuff that's happening. I find a lot of it, I don't think there will be a positive change in the end. I think it's all just like slap on the wrist, let's move on. And so, therefore, it's a lot less exciting for me.
Yeah.
But litigation, man, you say that word, I'm ready to rock.
Like, can we live stream it, bro? I'll watch. I'm curious to see, like, I'm really just like, what's the ending of this movie? Because it's like been so long. We just keep hearing the constant 115 charges and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, all right, well, what actually happened? And
what happens is they give Jordan Childs her bronze medal, and we all go home.
Finally, if you redeem it, we'll look
Man
the other.
City, if you buy 115 bronze medals for Jordan Childs and deliver them,
I'm looking the other way. Yeah.